Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. As you can tell from the title, today we are going to be going over Refinable's response to this entire situation. If you're new to this and if you haven't watched my last couple of videos, definitely go check them out so you can just get a feel for the insanity and the ridiculousness that has been going on around the Refinable IDO. I said yesterday that I was going to use this platform to figure out and get to the bottom of exactly what happened and to hopefully spread awareness to other YouTubers so they could do the same. Hopefully pressure Refinable into giving out some type of response, as they were MIA for quite some time, and it does seem like either that worked or they finally came to their senses and realized, hey, maybe we should issue some type of explanation because people are really angry right now. So with that being said, we did get a response. We're going to go ahead, we're going to go forward, we're going to see exactly what this is about. I'm going to read that response, I'll give my opinion on the response, we'll get a gauge for how other people are interacting with this response, and then I'm going to talk about a few lessons that I've learned personally as a YouTuber that I think are important for me to share with you all, and then I'll talk about some lessons that can be taken from this going forward as we are, going into other cryptos and as we do go forward as investors in general. So I hope you guys are excited. I think that this is a good step from Refinable, but I don't think that it justifies anything that just happened. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump straight into it. So first and foremost, we are getting this issuance from Nick Chan. Now he says, I would like to take a moment to officially address many of the token launch issues. Whilst the team has been working nonstop to ensure a smooth token launch, inevitably there were many unforeseen issues that cropped up. Now I just think that's a bit of an understatement, and it's almost dismissive to everything that happened because, it's like, yeah, we're working hard, just some stuff that we didn't see happen. Okay, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I would at least have come out and said, we apologize for all those of you who lost so much money due to some different technical issues. But I mean, realistically, no apology or nothing like that. It's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. So going forward, this is completely out the point. But let's go ahead and let's jump into the 9 different points that were presented about what went wrong yesterday. I'm going to read through these, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about how I feel about them. So it says that there were reported token contract leaks a few hours before launch. So the team reminted our entire token supply to mitigate bot setups. It says that Refinable launched at the initial price of 0.0328, which is going to be a little over 3 cents, and that CoinGecko and CMC price charts do not reflect our true initial price setting because of delayed reporting. He says that there were also severe congestion on BSC, starting with our PokerStarter IDO, causing all TX to be extremely delayed. Fifth, saying that public sale distributions were executed automatically, but private sale and partnership distribution were issued manually and experienced massive delays. Sixth, they said that we staggered initial liquidity supply by around 10 minutes to minimize the effect of predatory bots from front-running the community. 7, saying that private sale TX were issued in one dispersed TX and saw massive delays because of large contract size. 8, some small multi-sig TX executed earlier because of the smaller TX size outside of the dispersed TX, leading to staggered distribution of tokens. He then lastly says that on a final note, for over 1 hour after initial liquidity, no private sale tokens were distributed, and despite our best efforts, bots were still able to front-run the LP pool, thus creating massive price movements within the first 30 minutes of the pool. So with that being said, what can we take from this? I think that there are some things I do agree with, there's some things I don't necessarily agree with, and there's some things that are just a little bit questionable. So let's go ahead and let's jump into a few of them. So I'm going to start off with what I don't agree with, okay? Or not necessarily agree with, but I'm very questionable about, and that is going to be number 2. Refinable launched at the initial price of 0.0328. Now, we all know how IDOs go. If you've been in the crypto space for even a year, you know how this goes. It has an IDO, the bots are going to get in. No matter what the company does, the bots are going to get in there, and they are going to send the thing up. It happens every single time, okay? The thing about that is, though, the fact that within 10 seconds, maybe 20 max, we saw this thing multiplying by hundreds up to like 500xing within 20 seconds makes absolutely 0 sense. I mean, absolutely no sense. Because we've seen in the past with other IDOs that it happens, just like he says down here in point 9. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. That the bots were still able to front run the LP pool, thus creating massive price movements. Okay, I agree with that. I'm sure that did happen. But what's sketchy to me is that it was so dramatic. It was massive. And that's what everyone is so confused about. Now, say this thing 10x, 20x in the first 20 seconds. Okay, fine. I can't be too mad about that. But when you say that you're having your IDO that this thing is going public for public sale at 3 cents, and within the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, before anyone can even, press swap, this thing has multiplied by 500 times, it doesn't make sense. It genuinely doesn't make sense. So that's where the first big issue arises with me, and I feel like there is still some information that is just not being shared. Now, will we ever get that info? Probably not. But I personally I'm not even really much of a conspiracy theorist myself. I tend to believe things that are presented to me in a factual way. But with this, I'm still very sketched out. Okay, I don't know about all that. So that's that. So what are some things that I do believe actually did happen? When they say we staggered initial liquidity supply and to minimize the effect of predatory bots, I think that they probably did try to do that in a sense, but obviously it didn't necessarily go as well as they planned. When it comes to, there was severe congestion on BSC starting with our PokerStarter IDO, causing all TX to be extremely delayed. I do believe that did happen. I have no reason to believe that there was not severe congestion on BSC, especially considering all of the congestion we have been seeing with every single exchange or everything like that in general over the last couple of days. It really doesn't surprise me. So that was to be expected, and I think that going forward, that'll probably continue to be an issue. Now, we also have to consider the fact that PancakeSwap, it might just be me, and I hope I don't get a lot of hate for saying this, but PancakeSwap is one of by far the most annoying methods of swapping for crypto that exists. I struggle with it so much, and it gives me so many problems. It's just so frustrating, and so I'm sure that also didn't contribute to it as well. And now, whenever it comes to number 3, I agree with it, but I don't agree with it. It says CoinGecko and CMC price charts do not reflect our true initial price setting because delayed reporting. So I think that this may have some truth to it. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised to see that some of the charts can be off if we see massive price movements very fast. The issue that I have with it is that it may have just been me watching it, but I have a big monitor here and I have my computer here. I had PancakeSwap and everything pulled up here. I had my Discord ready, and then I had my charts pulled up here that was constantly refreshing, waiting for when it to go public. I could see where the price was. We saw it immediately already above $3. At no given point did any of us see it at 3 cents, even 20 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents, nothing. Now, my eyes don't have lag, right? Just because these other charts are lagging doesn't mean my eyes have lag. I could clearly see it was not at 3 cents. So the issue arises how did this start at $3? It did not start at 3 cents. I am very willing to argue with anyone that it didn't start at 3 cents because we all saw it. And does anyone truly know anyone who was able to even get in under 30 cents? That's the true question. So that is the one piece of that I will consistently say I don't believe. But with that, what can you do? So with that being said, that is pretty much all of what we have seen. He did say one more thing right here, saying that we have the largest NFT community in this space with 79,000 plus addresses holding fine. Our Twitter has 100K followers, and we are number 1 trending on CoinGecko. What this means is I and the Refinable app team will even try harder to deliver a stellar product for the community. And the issue that I have with that is I truly just believe that the damage is done. I can't imagine that people are just going to let this entire thing go. And that's where I struggle to have a lot of faith long term in this, because I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure if this entire thing is a scam, as it does seem like they have a lot of the backings of which they talked about. Binance clearly backs them, and I can't imagine that Binance would just so blatantly establish or associate themselves with people who are just out scamming thousands of people. I can't imagine that would truly happen. So I don't necessarily think that this product itself is a scam. I don't think that their platform is just not going to be real. But the issue that I have is I think that there are things that were left out when it comes to this IDO that were so crucial, and there's certain things that were somewhat tweaked that costed a lot of people a lot of money, and I can't imagine that those same people are going to be the ones who just let this go and just support them going forward, right? If I've learned anything over my years on YouTube is that people don't forget anything ever. You say one thing and it is going to be around forever. When you do something like this and there's so many issues and that there's so many red flags that cost people thousands of dollars, they're going to remember it. And I think there's always going to be that little bit of negativity, or a lot of negativity right now, floating around Refinable that I'm not sure how long it takes to recover from. And so with that, I truly just think the damage is done. So I think there's a few lessons that we can learn from everything that has happened. Okay, I think we all need to be a little bit more aware, right? I think that's number 1. Whenever this thing went up, there was a way and there was a method. You could see exactly how much you were getting. But I think the issue that a lot of people have is no one was anticipating 100 or 1,000x within 20 seconds, right? So I think next time, for some reason, if you do want to go on an IDO and you're waiting for that thing to launch, you need to pay attention to exactly how much you're getting. If you could see that you were getting this amount for this amount, you got to do that quick math in your head and realize, hold on, wait a second. You got to have your charts pulled up. See, I know a lot of us get excited and we want to get in on it, but at the end of the day, we got to understand that things like this can happen. And going forward, I hope this does make people a lot more aware to avoid other people losing money. So that's definitely number 1. Number 2 is that we need to understand that the scams do exist. Am I calling this thing in itself and the entire company a scam? No. Am I calling what happened very sketchy? Yes. And so with that, there are things like this that can happen that are very sketchy. And I think that's something that I don't see people considering enough. In my video that I made about this, when I was supporting Refinable, I said, we have to be careful. I said, I'm only going in 30% and I'm going to dollar cost average my way in just in case this thing absolutely takes off and there's no coming back, right? And so with that being said, I think it's important to pay very close attention and to understand that the space in itself has a lot of scams. So yeah, it is nice. It looks nice whenever we think, oh man, I could 100x off this. I could 1000x off this. Of course we want that. But it's also important to consider some of the things that could go wrong. And that's the issue I see. People are so excited to make this money and everything, but they're not considering the fact that they can just as easily lose it, especially within the crypto space, because things like this aren't regulated. It's not regulated. So if you're a crypto investor and you're a true crypto enthusiast, you like the lack of regulation. But whenever it comes to being aware of the possibility of scams or sketchy things happening that no one can really control, we have to understand the fact that it's going to happen. It'll continue to happen. And so we all need to, raise our awareness a little bit. I will do a better job as a YouTuber to make sure that I explain the potential risks that are associated with anything. I feel like I said it and I said, hey, this could be risky. We need to be careful. But I think I need to put an exclamation point on that and make people truly understand that all of these are risky, no matter what it is. Safemoon, NFT art, all of them have their risks. They all could be scams. Some a little bit less than others, in my opinion. But with that, we have to understand what could happen to understand what we should do. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Again, I'm super duper on the fence about this whole thing, but I'd love to hear your comments on it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your game plan with this is going forward. Do you think the damage is done and that they aren't going to be able to recover from this? I'd absolutely love to know your opinions. With that being said, you guys know the drill. I do post on this channel 2 to 4 times every single day. I will keep you all up to date about what surfaces with Refinable. If we get any more information and as they do release more information, I'll make sure to keep you all up to date. And with that being said, I'll see you very soon. Peace.